Let's say that somebody was coming into our church and they're black.
Incredible.
Would they be eligible for membership in our church? Yes, they of course they would. They'd be
Great. I love it. I don't know why we're having this conversation, but that's fantastic.
eligible for membership in our church. But would they be permitted to participate in, embody, and practice what I would call black culture generally in
Why would you call it black culture?
our church?
What does black culture mean?
The answer is absolutely not.
What is he referring to when he says black culture?
The characteristics that mark black culture as a generalization, in the same way Paul's talking about Cretans on Crete, they are evil, murderous, violent, bestial people.
What? Sorry. Is what?
They steal, they kill, they destroy. They look like Satan in how they act.
What the Holy shit. This guy's racist.
This is insanity, but for many pastors in 2025, unsurprising.
The institution of slavery is not inherently evil. I know. Some of you guys are upset by that. Some of you guys are saying, I've been saying that for years. Okay, I'll take it a step further. It is not inherently evil to own another human being. I know. Just wait. Some of you guys are really upset, but let's talk through this, because it is very important that every Christian affirm what I just said. And not only should they affirm it, every Christian in today's society should be able to defend what I just said. Okay? Every Christian should be able to defend it. Big evangelicalism has been getting this wrong for years. Basically, since the advent of Big Eva. They haven't had a good answer for the slavery issue. All right, Christians in America have been led astray on this topic. They've been led to believe things that the Bible doesn't teach. And when we go beyond the Bible, there are dire consequences.
This is Joshua Hames. We'll get back to him in a minute.
Yep, you can't be a
Amen.
vigilante, but you literally can join ICE and be God's appointed avenger,
Right.
who seeks to carry out God's vengeance on the evildoer. Immigration is evil. So to join the proper mechanism through ICE and to become, in that sense, God's appointed deacon to carry out vengeance on the evildoer who is devouring the inheritance of the children, that is a righteous thing. You can join ICE today and make Jesus smile as you, with a gun, pack foreigners into the back of a van to be kicked out of the country.
Joel Webon claims it is Christ-like to join ICE, the very same organization his Lord and Savior would oppose.
Hey, cut it out. You need to grow up. Stop throwing a fit. You're throwing a tantrum. Stop being a little boy. You're whining and crying about something that's ultimately your fault.
Yeah.
Stop blaming it on other people. It's your fault. Because here's the deal. It's like, well, slavery. The richest black people on God's green earth are African Americans. If slavery never happened, then you would be in a grass hut.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we need reparations. Your reparations are that you get to live in America. You're welcome.
This is his message to black folks who decry America's history of oppression.
And if that were to occur, and the just penalties were to be enforced, you, the false accuser, is now put to death, and that's a public death. It's a public sentence, publicly carried out. Then the citizens of these United States of America, you know what they would do? Hashtag Me Too would end real fast. How do you, false accusing? Playing the victim when you're actually not? Like, you know how to end that real fast? All you have to do is publicly execute a few women who have lied.
Via Right Wing Watch, Christian nationalist pastor Joel Webon calls for the public execution of women who falsely claim to have been essayed.
Black people, I would leave by the droves. I would not come back. Get out of this church. If a church promotes hatred or exclusion, it has stepped out of the fellowship of Christ. If I were a black believer hearing that from the pulpit, I'd walk out. See you later. Alligator. After a while, crocodile. I got to go. I can't sit in this. I cannot sit in this because this grand wizard talking KKK master, he's messed up. And he's saying the quiet part out loud proudly and in a pompous and arrogant way. Man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
This right-wing pastor says black folks should leave Webon's church. In other news, water is wet.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm about to go on my rant because my biggest pet peeve is hypocrisy, but especially on Sundays. If y'all went to church today and upon leaving that church, you still oppose SNAP benefits to our most marginalized communities, you are a hypocrite. If you left church today and don't want universal health care for our most marginalized communities, you are a hypocrite. If you left church today and you are still calling for the deportation of human beings on stolen land, you are a hypocrite. If you are still complicit in genocides around the world, you are a hypocrite. Because that is not the teachings of God. That is not the teachings of Jesus. Jesus was the most radical being, period, that served and even cleaned the feet of the most marginalized. What is wrong with y'all? Stop going to church.
New York Liberty star Natasha Cloud is done with all of it, calling every one of them out. From The Guardian on Hames, he has the endorsement of Pete Hegseth, which is no surprise whatsoever. Birds of a feather here, right? Hegseth recently boosted a video of Douglas Wilson and other Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, or CREC pastors, arguing that women should lose the right to vote in the country. They go on to write, Hames is a member of the CREC-aligned Pilgrim Hill Reform Fellowship, or PHRF, and his podcasts advocate for the CREC's moral and theological positions. The Guardian would previously report that he once served as a pastoral intern at the church. Online, he's claimed that liberalism is a greater threat to the country than neo-Nazism, and that the Bible is pro-ICE raids. On X, he has also advocated for capital punishment for adultery and abortion, and appeared to call for the drowning of LGBTQ plus pride marchers. Despite distancing himself from the PHRF, Hames regularly hosts Brooks Pottager, the congregation's pastor and Hegseth's closest spiritual advisor. His most recent appearance was just not too long ago, where he appeared alongside Hames in the profile image for the podcast channel on YouTube, whose description reads, "We created this podcast as a resource to serve you in your Reformation red pill journey." Yikes. I think what frustrates all of us the most about theatrics like this is that this is Christian nationalism. It is a direct threat to Christianity, just like other extremist factions of a certain subset of religion are a threat to the grand total, the grand whole of whatever it is that you believe in. We should not forget that the Klan would lynch a black person and then go pray on Sunday. Or they would pray Sunday morning and then go lynch a black person. Christian nationalism is a direct threat to democracy because they don't believe in it. So when I see, pro-fash pastors like Joel Webon or Joshua Hames, who now says he's a full-time content creator, what I see are anti-American folks who walk amongst us. And I hope you would too, because this sort of stuff needs to be called out, because they are a direct threat to progressing society. What they want to do is go back to when women had no rights, to when minorities had no rights, and white Christian men ruled the country.